There is a giant planet 63 light-years away that astronomers stared straight at for 40 years and never saw. It was not too far, and it was not too faint. It sat inside the most photographed young star system in our sky, in data we already owned. So what else is already hiding in the images we have collected? Hold on to that question. The answer is the last thing you will hear. Because this is not a story about a better telescope. It is a story about a better way of looking. And about how much we might be walking past right now. Our sun is 4.5 billion years old. Beta Pictoris is 23 million. If the sun were a 40-year-old adult, Beta Pictoris would be about 73 days old. That is why astronomers fell in love with it. A star that young is still building. The gas has not settled. The dust has not cleared. The planets are still finding their orbits. Watching Beta Pictoris is the closest thing we have to watching our own solar system being assembled, except we get to see it from the outside. So we pointed everything at it. Ground telescopes, space telescopes, decades of proposals, of observing nights, of graduate students staring at the same 63 light-years of sky. And the more we looked, the more confident we became that we knew what was in there. That confidence is the problem. In 1984, Beta Pictoris became the first star where humans ever photographed a disk of debris, a flat, glowing ring of dust and rubble left over from planet formation. It is one of the brightest debris disks we have ever found, and that is exactly what went wrong. Dust does not just sit there. It catches the light of the star and throws it in every direction. From our position, that disk behaves like fog on a highway at night. Not dark, but bright, glowing from the inside, scattering the very light you're trying to see through. Now try to spot a single planet inside that. Conventional planet hunting works by finding a faint point of light next to a blindingly bright one. You block the star, you look for the leftover dot. But in a system like this, the fog is full of dots. Dust clumps look like planets. Planets look like dust clumps. And the disk is not small. It stretches out for hundreds of times the distance from the Earth to the Sun. A haze of rubble wide enough to swallow our entire solar system many times over, all of it lit up from within. For decades, the answer to, "Is there anything else in there?" was the same. We cannot tell. By the end of the 2010s, Beta Pictoris had 2 confirmed giant planets. Beta Pictoris OB was one of the first exoplanets humanity ever imaged directly. Not inferred, not calculated, but seen. Beta Pictoris C came later. 2 worlds, both giants, both famous. And here is what that did to the field. It made the system feel finished. A solved puzzle. When you have already pulled 2 planets out of the fog with the best instruments on Earth and in orbit, the natural conclusion is that you got them all. The team that eventually found the 3rd one has a phrase for the habit that kept everyone honest. They say they have learned not to trust bright spots in images. Keep that phrase somewhere. It is going to mean something completely different by the end of this video. And it is the reason I asked you the question at the start. Here is the part that should not work. The team that found Beta Pictoris D was not searching for a planet. They were studying the atmosphere of Beta Pictoris B, the one everybody already knew about. They were using an instrument on the James Webb Space Telescope called NIR-SPEC, and specifically a mode called an integral field unit. That name is worth 30 seconds of your time, because it is the whole reason this discovery exists. A normal camera gives you one image, brightness at every point. An integral field unit gives you a spectrum at every point. Every single pixel comes back not as how bright, but as what wavelengths in what proportion. So while the team was reading the chemistry of one planet, the instrument was quietly reading the chemistry of everything else in the frame at the same time, including something nobody had asked it to look at. Every gas absorbs light at its own specific wavelengths. Carbon monoxide takes bites out of the spectrum in one pattern, methane in another, water vapor in another. That means a planet's atmosphere does not just glow, it signs its name. In the Beta Pictoris data, In a spot where there should have been nothing but scattered starlight and dust, the spectrum came back carrying carbon monoxide, methane, and water vapor, arranged the way an atmosphere arranges them. Dust does not do that. Dust scatters the star's light, so dust shows you the star's fingerprint, not its own. A background galaxy does not do that either. Something with weather was sitting inside the fog. If that just rearranged something in your head about what a telescope actually is, you know what the like button is for. Stop for a second, because this is the part that makes it personal. Beta Pictoris is not a smudge that only Webb can reach. It is a naked-eye star. It sits in the southern constellation Pictor, and from the right latitude, on a clear night away from city light, you can walk outside and look directly at it. Which means that if you're watching this from Brazil, Chile, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, that light is available to you tonight. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I want to know how many of you are standing under a sky where this star is up right now, carrying a planet that took us 4 decades to notice. Because every photon you would catch tonight left that system 63 years ago. The planet was already there. It was there in 1984 when we took the first picture of the disk. It was there in every observing run since. We just could not read what we were holding. A signal is not a discovery. This is where most claims quietly die. Spectroscopy has a second gift. It does not only tell you what something is made of, it tells you how it is moving. Wavelengths shift depending on whether an object is coming toward you or going away. So the team pulled a velocity out of the same data. Then they checked it against every boring explanation. A distant background star? Wrong motion. A brown dwarf that happens to contain carbon monoxide drifting behind the system? Wrong position. Wrong alignment. The speed, the location, and the tilt all matched one thing: an object in orbit around Beta Pictoris, sitting just inside the inner edge of that debris disk on the widest orbit of the 3. Then 2 independent checks came in, one using the European Southern Observatory's very large telescope on the ground, one using Webb's own near-infrared camera. 3 planets. Confirmed. Beta Pictoris is now only the second planetary system we know of with at least 3 planets we have actually imaged, not detected by a dip in starlight, not inferred from a wobble, imaged, located in space, as objects. That number should tell you how brutally hard this is. We have confirmed thousands of exoplanets. We can count on one hand the systems where we have pinned down 3 of them as points on a map. And Beta Pictoris d is the first one ever found primarily this way, through the chemical signature of its atmosphere, rather than by being a bright enough dot to isolate. The result went public on the 15th of July, 2026, in the Astrophysical Journal Letters, and the team is not finished with it. The same spectra that revealed the planet also carry its temperature, the detailed makeup of its atmosphere, and the shape of its orbit. Numbers they are still pulling out of data that already exists on a hard drive. There is no new observing run required. The information is sitting there. Which finally brings us back to the question I asked you at the beginning. Remember the phrase I told you to keep? That the team had learned not to trust bright spots in images? Here is what it actually means. Beta Pictoris d was never hidden in space. It was hidden in a method. Every photon from that planet had already crossed 63 light-years and arrived. Some of them landed in instruments we built decades ago. The planet was never far away and never faint. It was simply invisible to the only question we knew how to ask, which was, is this bright enough to be something? The moment someone asked a different question, what is this made of? The planet stopped hiding. It had nowhere left to hide, because you cannot fake carbon monoxide. So we did not find a new world in July of 2026. We found out that we had been asking Starlight the wrong thing, and the archives are enormous. Decades of spectra, sitting on servers, already paid for, already collected, from stars we filed away as understood. Which leaves an uncomfortable thought to carry around. Beta Pictoris was not a neglected corner of the sky. It was one of the most studied objects in modern astronomy, and it still had a giant planet in it that nobody could read. If 40 years of the closest possible attention was not enough there, then the question is not whether we are missing things. It is how many, and how close. But there is a planet in our own solar system that is quietly losing something we always assumed was permanent. And what the numbers actually say about how long it has left is what this video is about.